Here we are at Idiot with a Cheap Camera Movie Productions once again. I have no camera person again today, so I'm going to have to do this all myself. If you've seen any of my other videos, then you probably already know that I've been living off the back of an old motorcycle since 1994, the spring of 94, and since that time I've stayed nowhere more than 2 months. Anyway, it's been suggested to me, or been asked by me a lot, that I do something on how I find the places that I stay at, because people seem real curious about how I'm able to stay on the land for all these years without paying rent any. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show this spot that I stayed in last night, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the reasons why I chose this and what I'm looking for. Okay? So bear with me, because it's just me and this chicken shit camera. So here we go. Okay, first off, if you look, I don't know if you can see it, but the freeway's right down there. I'm in Louisiana. I'm heading for Florida. It's a little bit late in the season, and I'm heading, it's getting cold now. We're getting up towards Christmas. And there's the freeway I got off of down there. There's a convenience store here. There's a little mini mall over here. We got a lot of traffic on this road. But what I happened to notice while I was driving by is this little road here that leads in. And the first thing that I noticed is that the road hardly ever gets used. If you look down it, you can see that there's weeds growing up right through the middle of it. I always check the ground to see if there's tracks going in and out. This particular one has none. Nobody's been in here in a long time. The fact that there is not a mailbox leads me to believe that there should not be a house back there, but there is on this particular one. I don't know what happened to the mailbox. But what I'm going to do is walk down this here road, and we'll take a little look at it. Now, I'm just north of New Orleans here, man, and I spent time last week over in the Party City, which was fun as hell, man. That place just has it going on all the time. And down in the French Quarter, I run into a guy who's traveling, living off of his bike. And he's a young guy, man, and it seems like there's more guys doing this stuff lately. It used to be just me and Billy. Now it's like there's all these new guys, man. And what he's doing is he's staying in youth hostels and traveling. Well, that's costing him around $20 a night, so he's looking at $400 a month for his accommodations. Now, that kind of money means that what you're going to do is you're going to travel from town to town, and when you get there, you're going to work. All right, to make your money to pay for your accommodations, to have money for the hotels on the way to the next town you're going to work at. And there's a lot of truth in, I may seem pretty primitive here, but actually I think I live very well, man. And there's a lot of freedom if you really think about it. There's a whole lot of freedom that comes with not having to sweat accommodations and being able to find places pretty much anywhere, cheaply and easily, where you can stay and not have to pay any rent. Now, I can't shut this stupid little camera off and start again because I don't have the ability to splice movies together. So what I am going to show is, as you can see, if you can see this road, man, nobody's coming down here. Look at them weeds going right up the middle of it. So originally what I did was I pulled in here and I stopped. I have a tendency to walk in just to make sure I don't get my bike stuck. And back here there's an old house right here. It might be a Katrina house because there's a lot of those around. But, I come in here a little car. You can see nobody's living in it, man. And I come in here, and the doors to this old house are open. And I'm not going to bother going inside, but what I'll tell you is this house is done. Nobody's ever coming back here. The roof's starting to cave in. Places of it are rotting out. Anybody who goes in there can see. It was a very nice house on a very nice piece of property. But it's done now. And there's like hundreds of thousands of these houses across the country. And oftentimes I use their land and oftentimes I don't. And the reason is because these old houses, they tend to offer you a driveway coming in. A lot of times they'll have some land around them. You can see that this land offers me trees and privacy, complete privacy. So I don't want to be bothered in the mornings, man. I never stay anywhere where I'm going to be bothered. Somebody's going to wake me up, or I have to get out early because I'm lazy and I want to sleep in. So what I did was I stayed underneath this old porch here last night just because it keeps the dew off me. In last night's case, there wasn't dew, there was some frost going on here on the ground. And I didn't really bother with putting up a tent I just stuck my bike in the corner here, put my plastic down and my sleeping bags, and I'll try to do more videos on finding other spots. But what happens is now and then people just don't notice these places because they've never considered looking for them. And what happens is somebody will come with me, and it seems the hardest thing for people to get a grasp on that want to come and travel by their bikes is the idea that you don't have to pay another man for the right to sleep on the land you were born to. Seems to be the hardest thing. For me, it's easy. I don't have a problem with it. So what happens is, of course, you're going to be nervous at first, and you're going to have to deal with that. Feel the fear and do it anyway is the only way to do something like that. And then, in the morning, when nothing's happened, you're like, that was no big deal. You know, what's the problem? And it just becomes easier. Anyways, let's see. There's a whole lot of land behind this. A person could stay way off in here. I only chose that area because it had that roof there, and because, you know, we're in the east, and the east is full of dew. Out in the west, you can sleep anywhere. So it's beautiful back here, man. Totally private. So anyways, I'll be moving on today, heading into Mississippi, and I guess that's all I have to say. And until next time, until I do another video, hang tough, man. Keep the rubber side down.